Connecticut, October 7th, Route 4 north to a viewpoint past Caesar Campsite. It is our anniversary weekend, and we are staying at the Cornwell Inn. Today, we had wanted to do a different section of the trail, one road from here to Pine Swamp Brook Lean-To, but we had started at the wrong place. Dave had a GPS with us this time that was showing us that we were about 4 miles to the lean-to. I said, "That is wrong. The lean-to is only a mile from the parking area." So we started north on the trail from where I had thought I had planned us to be. The hike started off with a climb, and after hiking over a mile on the trail and not finding the lean-to and passing a view of Breadloaf Mountain, I looked at the map again and I realized that we had parked in the wrong place. I had thought that we had parked on West Cornwell Road, but actually we had parked on Cornwell Bridge Road. Well, no worries, we had to do this section anyways, so it was not like we were not doing a section of the AT. We would have had to do this section someday, so we are doing it today. The trail descended to a small stream, and after crossing the stream, it climbed back up to a dirt road with houses on it. Then it climbed up to the junction of the Breadloaf Mountain Trail. We hiked out the 0.1 mile trail to the lookout at Breadloaf Mountain. The view was fogged in because it was very humid and muggy out this morning. It has been unseasonably humid and hot this week, and New England was in a drought. A lot of the streams were bone dry. We saw a tent set up on the top of Breadloaf Mountain. Breadloaf Mountain was supposedly named this because from a distance it looks like a loaf of bread, and it does, I think. This section of the AT was nice, as it was mostly a pine forest with some hardwood mixed in. There was a lot of places here to set up a tent site. A breeze was blowing here, and we could hear acorns falling in the woods. I actually got hit on the head by one of them. This section had a nice pine smell with all the pine needles blanketing the ground, mostly from the white pine trees. We met a flip-flop through hiker on this section who was going to complete the trail in about 400 miles. She was a woman who was hiking the trail alone. We were surprised to still see through hikers out here in October. There was a lot of day hikers out here doing the Pine Knob Loop Trail. Some of them had no day packs or water on this climb in this humidity. They had done this loop to go to the viewpoint, and the view was all fogged in when we arrived, but had cleared up when we headed back. The fall color is late this year, and there was not much foliage out here yet. We saw a group of Boy Scouts on the trail when we were descending down the Caesar Brook Campsite Spur Trail to the Caesar Brook Campsite to eat our lunch. The campsite was very nice, however, it did not have any tent platforms. There was some large, flat, open areas for group camping. We found the privy, which was an open privy, no walls, just a box with a toilet seat on it, in the woods, with very little tree cover, so it is not very private. I think I will wait until we get back to our room. It was noon when the sun came out, and a nice breeze was blowing, so it looked like it would be a pretty day. However, the humidity was still here. We left the campground and climbed up to an area that was supposed to have a nice view, but the view was all grown in. Dave marked this spot on his GPS and marked the area with a stick pile so that we could find our turnaround point when we come back up from the other side. We are planning to do this tomorrow. We turned around here and headed back to our car. We had seen a chipmunk, some crows flying overhead, and a large turd with lots of white hair in it, maybe coyote or wolf. High points was the view on the Pine Knob Loop Trail and the way back and the sun coming back out. The low point, that would have to be the humidity as it was draining our energy on the climbs. October 8th, West Cornwall Road south to the viewpoint turnaround. We are going home today, so we are only doing a short section of the trail today, heading south on the trail to where we turned around yesterday. The day was cloudy again, and it had started to pour out as we were driving here. We parked at the parking lot on West Cornwall Road and was putting our rain gear on inside the car. Not an easy thing to do, let me tell you. It sounded like the rain was letting up, and I was afraid that we might get too hot in the rain gear during our hike. We entered the trail here, and it was mostly in the hardwoods, no pine and no views. The rain had stopped after we got onto the trail. I was not wearing anything under my rain gear except my underwear and a t-shirt, so I could not take off the rain gear. and now it was getting a little hot. Big mistake. To make it worse, the sun had come out, making me even hotter in my rain gear. We had seen a lot of wood frogs out on the trail today and a few newts. They were loving this weather. We heard a sound like the peepers, but I believed that it was some kind of bird. We had thought that it was so warm out that the peepers in the swamps were out. We had not seen many people on the trail today, just an older man hiking past us as we were eating our lunch at the turnaround point. We had reached where we were yesterday and had completed this section of the trail. It was just a short trip, and it was not the best weather for a hike, but in order to finish the AT, we have to hike no matter what the weather is.